A lot of people think the hardest part of getting healthy is knowing what diet to follow and what exercises to do. A lot of people think the hardest part of getting healthy is the food or the workouts. Like figuring out which diet plan to follow, which exercises to do, especially for the girlies to get the glutes. But for me, those things have been the least of my worries. Number one, over information or misinformation. Like, there's literally so many people screaming on the internet about eating this way or that way, what's best, what's terrible. One person will say carnivore diet is the only diet you ever need. Another one will say carnivore diet is going to kill you. You need to eat keto. And round we go. And it's like, and then some people are like, it's calories in versus calories out. And other people are like, no, it matters what kind of calories you eat. And it's very, very confusing. And for me, when I've gone down that rabbit hole, I've gotten so lost and so discouraged so many times. You already know I'm a research girly, and I've literally spent hours upon hours researching. And it would have never ended if I didn't end it, because there's just so many different schools of thoughts about everything, even about the timing you eat. Some people say you shouldn't eat more than 3 hours before your bedtime. Other people are like, it doesn't matter when you eat. You can eat in the middle of the night. You just need to keep the calories low. Other people are like intermittent fasting. Other people are like 2 week fasting. Other people are like never fast. So again, for me, point one, over information or misinformation has definitely been a hard part of getting healthy, especially when something I'm doing comes up across my feed like, oh, eating this way is going to kill you. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So yeah, I had to get over that and just decide this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to stick with it. I say the second thing that was really hard about getting healthy, that has been really hard about getting healthy, is the consistency when motivation is done, right? Because it's so easy to come across a new plan, a new way of eating, a new exercise like Pilates, hey Pilates girlies, and be so amped up getting, the new shoes, the new clothes, cleaning out your pantry and getting all the right foods. And then once that motivation is gone, the excitement is gone, then it's like, am I going to continue to do the thing I said I would do back when I was excited, now that I'm no longer excited? That one has been hard for me. It's been like over and over again, reminding myself, like, no, this is what I said I was going to do, and I got to do it. And so, yeah, staying consistent when the motivation is gone is hard. And that's why I've done my best to just focus one day at a time. Like, this is what I need to do. This is what I have to get done today. I have to eat well and I have to move my body. And that's it. Like, making it as simple as possible each day and just focusing on that day has helped me so much. Because when I think about, oh, the next 90 days, the next 30 days, my brain is like, no, it rebels. It doesn't want to do that. That's too long. So I literally take each day by each day. And then some days when I get off track, I just stop after, I come to my awareness like, hey, I'm not eating right, or I didn't move. Okay, I'm right back on it. Next meal is a better meal. Uh, Next moment is a moment I get up and move. And that's all that I focus on. Because more than that, and yeah, that consistency is going to try to go out the door. Number three thing that has made it hard to get healthy, that has nothing to do with food or working out, is emotions. Emotional eating is no joke, because I have found myself talking to myself inside my head of like, well, why are you ordering McDonald's, for example? Why are you ordering McDonald's? We know we, we don't eat McDonald's anymore. And it's like, yeah, but I just want it. I don't care. And it's like, why? And it's like, okay, yeah, I know you're upset about this. You're just upset about this. So yeah, but I'm gonna get it anyway. And I live with the consequences whenever I do that. And I'm not perfect at all. So I still occasionally have my McDonald's meal, but it's dealing with those emotions is real. Learning how to quote unquote cope in other ways outside of food is so key. Because I'll be going well, I'll be doing well, but then as soon as something triggers me, as soon as something I get upset about something at work or something my mom said, then it's like, okay, I don't do drugs, I'm not sleeping around, I'm not punching holes in walls, I'm not shopping till I drop, I'm not doing any of those things, right? But the way I cope is I'll order food that I know is a fast source of dopamine, right? McDonald's always comes through with the dopamine. I'm not promoting McDonald's, by the way. Um, and what I had to realize was like, okay, Raven, why do why when you think of coping mechanisms, it's always a negative connotation to it. Like there can be positive coping mechanisms. So I had to lay out a few positive coping mechanisms I could turn to when in those situations. You know, working on your triggers absolutely needed, right? And I've been working on that. And at the same time, I'm still a human being. Things will trigger me, things will trigger you. That's just part of it, um, part of the human experience. And so it's like, okay, if I know I want something, if I know I want something sweet when I get upset, then let's put pineapple in my house and watermelon in my house instead of running to get chocolate ice cream. Nothing wrong with chocolate ice cream per se. Um, but I know that when I eat a lot of sweets like that, like chocolate bars, chocolate ice creams, they're not healthy versions of them, just regular chocolate bars. Because I know it's cute. I know it's cute. Protein ice cream and protein this and protein that and all those things are cute. I don't have those. I don't buy them. I don't make them. I kind of feel like if I want M&Ms, I want M&Ms. I don't want a fake M&M. So don't come for me, but it's like if I want the thing, I just want the thing. Like when I go to Starbucks, they're like, "Do you want reduced fat milk or do you want oat milk?" I'm like, "No, I want full fat. Give me my fat. If I'm gonna have Starbucks, I want all the Starbucks of the Starbucks." So yeah, I know that if I have a chocolate bar or have a chocolate ice cream, it's gonna make me want more and more of it. So it's like, okay, Raven, let's replace the sweet. I gotta have something sweet. So let's start off with watermelon pineapple, right? And usually, or even oranges. I love the little cuties. And I have a bunch of cuties. I'll even have 5 cuties in one sitting. And I know that those aren't going to negatively impact my health journey. But they help me to get the sweetness in that I'm craving because of whatever trigger I'm going through. And then also, I'm like, okay, I've told myself, I have yet to practice it yet in full transparency, but I'm like, okay, Raven, what we have to do is when we get upset, we have to start either getting up and doing like squats or jumping jacks, something like that, or we have to put on praise music and praise God, right? So those are the two options I have. Now I need to practice this. I came to this conclusion a few days ago where I'm like, okay, I have to practice that. But I'm like writing down a few different ways that I can positively cope. The other thing I do is pull out the diamond paintings. I showed you those in a couple of videos ago, but it's a craft. I love diamond paintings, and I'll do that when I get upset, um, to help me calm down. And so, yeah, finding positive ways to cope with the feelings and then processing the feelings, of course. I know that for me, sometimes I have to, well, definitely, I feel like I have to calm down first and then I can process the feelings. And sometimes that then I just need time. I just need a little bit of time. And so yeah, that helps to have some things to refer to, like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, instead of just automatically defaulting to food. That has been helpful and that has been way more impactful on my health journey. Okay, another thing, I guess number four, number three was emotions. Number four would be perfectionism, right? Because I definitely, being an eldest daughter, have a very, very strong perfectionist streak. And it's like, if I don't do it 100% right, then I'm 100% wrong. And I've had so many false starts on my health journey in the past because of that. It's like, I got to be perfect. I got to, exercise 2 hours a day. I have to eat only chicken and vegetables. I have to do everything just by the book and never make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, then I'm a complete failure and I should just give it all up. I've done that so many times in the past. This time, it's like I'm like I said earlier, I make a mistake. Okay, the next moment, literally the next second, I can just get back on track. It's like, okay, I ate some chocolate covered almonds. It wasn't the best thing, but it's not the end of the world. So I get back on track. Next time, go reach for cuties. I got cuties in my fridge. Go reach for some fruit. Go reach for some broccoli. Reach for something else, right? And so the having the all or nothing mentality has definitely been something I've had to overcome in this health journey that I did not did not realize was I realize now looking back that it had hindered me so many times before when I tried to get healthy. But acknowledging it this time and then giving myself grace in it. Like, girl, you don't have to be perfect. You can still get results. You don't have to be like, okay, I did it exactly like this and I was perfect from beginning to end. As soon as I said no more, because there are people, don't get me wrong, there are people who are like, never gonna eat pork again in life and they just cut it off and it never happens again. And that's just it. And I'm like, that's awesome. I wish I could be like that. But I'm not like that. So it's like, okay, well, I don't want to eat pork anymore. Then it's more like, okay, I eat less and less of pork. And then over time, I phase it out if that's something I want to do. Or with this, it's like, okay, I want to eat better. But instead of trying to just, okay, no pizza, no burgers, no none of this stuff that's all unhealthy, I just added things in. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna eat pizza, but first I'm gonna eat a big salad before, right? So I get the fiber in, I get the hydration in, I get the vitamins in. Also, it also fills me up more, so I don't eat as much pizza as I normally would. And by doing that over time, especially as my taste buds change, then it will then I stop wanting pizza as much. You know, I'll still have pizza here and there, but for the most part, I don't eat pizza anymore. And it's again, it's not because it's bad. It's just that usually the way it's made is not the best. It's very calorie heavy. So when I really really want pizza, I'll eat pizza, but I just don't default to pizza anymore. Um, and yeah, and by eating a vegetable anytime, no matter what I eat, if I'm out with my friends and I'm like, okay, well today I'm gonna eat roti, beef roti. Chinese beef roti is so good, but it is the greasiest non really it's not really healthy. It's just lots of meat and lots of bread and it's greasy as ever. It's delicious. But there's no vegetables, there's no fiber, there's no healthy carbs. It's like processed, bread. So I'm just like, okay. I went and got the beef roti with my friend Shumi. We were in a food court and I was like, okay, I need vegetables before I eat this. And so we walked around until I found vegetables and got a whole big plate of steamed vegetables. And I ate that first and then I ate the beef roti and I kept it moving. And so it's like being instead of telling myself I can't eat any of this stuff anymore ever, even if I crave it, and just try to strong arm myself into compliance, I have learned to add healthier things in. And as I add the healthier things in and keep those in, they kind of push out the things that aren't so great and supportive of my goals. I think that's the thing I should also note is that there are no good or bad foods. It's just foods that help support me in the goals that I want to get to and foods that kind of hinder me or slow down my progress towards those goals. So it's not inherently that, oh, pizza is a bad food, McDonald's a bad food, chocolate ice cream is a bad food. No, they're not bad foods. Let me be clear and to you and to myself. They're not bad foods. It's like, okay, will these foods help me progress to my goal of 25% body fat? Okay, no, they won't. So do I want my goal more or do I want these foods more? Okay, in this moment, I do want the chocolate ice cream. Okay, let's have the chocolate ice cream, eat it with some type of protein. So like for instance, if I want I've had it before, chocolate almonds, I'll eat with something, I'll pair it with something healthy, some type of vegetable or some type of, a banana, fruit, something healthier, or something, sorry, not healthier, something more supportive towards my goals, right? And then I'll move on and I'll go right back to eating the way that I eat that's supportive of my goals. And so I want to start make sure I talk in that way because I think a lot of time our beliefs and the meanings we give to words make all the difference. And I have beat myself up so much my whole life. And, I've endured the opinions and judgments of others as well, being a fat woman my whole life. Um, and so I'm like, I'm taking the meanings back. There are no bad foods. It's just foods that are supportive of me getting to my goal, and foods that aren't supportive or more sabotage me getting to my goals. And if I want some of those foods, sometimes it should be in a low moderation, not often at all, and eat it with something else that's more supportive of my goals. So yeah, okay. I think the last one I would say would be environment for sure. I just happen to put myself in one of the most difficult environments ever. So when it comes to the health journey, one thing that I didn't expect or understand was that the environment makes all the difference. Because if you're in an environment of people who constantly eat and they constantly push food on you, it makes it so much more difficult. And I experienced that when I first started because who knew? Malaysia is just as food crazy, if not more. I would argue down that Malaysia is more food crazy than the United States of America. And I didn't know that was possible. And it's so funny when I was coming to Malaysia, I'd never been to Asia, never been to Malaysia. When I first was coming here, I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose so much weight because, Asian people, my ignorance, Asian people are so much smaller, and they eat well and, they eat really healthy. And so I'm gonna get so skinny. Not in Malaysia. Malaysia is a foodie's dream. Now, the good part is the food here is healthier than the food in the US because we already know. I don't even want to say, but we know how they do the food in the US. We know all the concoctions and potions and all that stuff they put in their food, right? To make it highly addictive and all that stuff. We could talk about it on another time but not here because YouTube be like to be hating. So we know. So even with me eating the food here, when I first got here, even though I was eating a lot of it, I still had started releasing weight because the food is healthier. It's less all that nonsense in it. And just walking around here. In the US, we're very car heavy. They drive a lot here. They drive a lot here too, but I walk to the train, I take the train, I walk around the malls. They go to the malls a lot, walk around the malls all day. So a lot more walking and a lot better quality food has helped. Then when I started getting serious and very intentional about what I was eating, my health journey, losing weight, getting stronger, accelerated. But it was hard when I first started because here in Malaysia, this is how I know Malaysia is more food crazy than America. Is in America, if I go out with my friends to a restaurant or to a party, they're like, "Oh, do you want something to eat?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh, you're not eating." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't need anything." And maybe one or two times, they're like, "Oh, no, you should have something." Maybe one, two times at the most, they'll ask me, "No, you should have something. I insist," or whatever. And I'm like, "No," and they'll let it go. In Malaysia, 50, 11 times they're gonna ask you. Literally, like 17 times they're gonna ask you. The same person multiple times and multiple people around you. Oh, we'll go to the coffee shop after church, or I'll be over one of my friends' house and a group of us be hanging out. Oh, you want something? You want something? No, thank you. No, thank you. Several people ask me, and I'm like, no, no, no. Oh, why? I remember going to our church has a location in Singapore. So when I went and visited Singapore, I went to the church that Sunday, and then they had me in the new persons lounge afterwards, and they had some treats and they were talking to me and oh yeah, I was Kuala Lumpur and da 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 da. And so we're just chopping it up. They're like, "You want some of this dessert?" No, thank you. I'm good. I'm fasting. Oh, but you can have a little bit. I said, no, I'm fasting. And at this time, yes, I went to Singapore. I was fully fasting. I was only drinking juices those 2 days I was there because that's where I was doing a rolling fast of 2 days of juicing, 2 days of raw veggies, um, 2 days of dry fasting, and then like 1 day of water fasting, I think. Anyway, I was on 2 days of juicing. So I literally was only drinking juice and I didn't have to drink juice at that particular moment. So they were like, you can have a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm fasting. And then they're like, oh, but you can have a little. I'm like, I'm fasting for the Lord. They're like, oh, the Lord, he'll understand. Girl, what? Absolutely not. So they will pressure you, try to bully you into eating. And it's just their love language. I'm not mad at it. Trust. I'm not mad at it at all. This is just their culture. And so, but I just thought it was so funny. And and they actually gave me this big bag of treats at the church. Oh, my Nutella biscuits were in there, a big bag of them, my absolute favorite. And I left that whole bag of treats in my hotel when I checked out for the beautiful cleaners to take, because I'm like, I'm fasting, I'm not gonna eat it. I didn't even take it home and save it. I wish I would have, because I love Nutella biscuits and they're so expensive. But I left them because that's how dedicated I was at the time in the fast I was doing. And because I really, yeah, I was dedicated. And so I say all that to say your environment is so important. When you don't have the support of, like, if people are talking about you, let me take a step back. I finally got to the point where I would go to gatherings and my friends were like, "Oh, you can't eat this, but you can eat this. We have this watermelon, we have these grapes, we have these oranges." "Okay, thanks, honey. Thank you so much." And they stopped asking me because I just told them, "No, please do not ask me again." And they knew I was serious, and they were starting to see my results, that I was slimming down in the waist, slimming down overall. And yeah, they knew I was serious. And so I say all that to say, when you are on a health journey, whether it's just losing weight or getting strong or trying to reverse diabetes, I'm not a doctor, by the way. I'm not trying to give any health advice. Please don't take this that way, YouTube. Whatever you're trying to do health wise to improve your health in a positive way, if you are in an environment that's not supportive of that, it's going to be so much harder, right? Another way I dealt with it, besides just saying no, was at first, because I wasn't strong enough to say no, I just didn't go to things. And I know some people don't want to do that. So they'll go and they'll eat and then they'll feel bad about it because they're not doing what they want to do. They're not taking the more, they're not getting the progress on their health journey like they wanted. But what I decided was, I'm just not going to go until I'm strong enough to say no. And so I missed some things at first. And then when I'm like, okay, I was more consistent into my routine, then I would go, I would bring my food with me. If I was eating out a meal, I would just order my food and have it delivered to my friend's house where I was going to. And so that's how I dealt with the environment. I made sure that I did the things that would support me, and I wasn't going to let somebody talk me into eating food just to please them. I wasn't doing that anymore, or to not be rude. I'm like, "Hey, I have my food. It's good. Y'all enjoy." And I remember one of the times, because me and my group of friends, we get together like every other Saturday and hang out for several hours. And I remember one time being at my friend Rebecca's house. We were all there, and she's Korean American. She's awesome, and she had all these things. I think she had just been to Korea, but she had all these Korean treats, and she had cooked up Korean food, and it was beautiful. And I just looked at it, and I ate my salad, and then my chicken noodle soup, which I love. And because I had ordered my food and had it delivered there, and I didn't think nothing about it. I was fine because I I want to get to my goals, and consistency entail is consistency is part of that. And so yeah, yeah. But anyway, I don't even remember what the five I said. Something about emotions, perfectionism, environment, information, misinformation or overinformation. And the second one was the second one, emotions. Anyway, they're in there. But yeah, those are the things that I encountered on my health journey that were way more, either I never even thought about it or was way more to it than I thought when I started my health journey. But I'm glad that I'm making progress, and I'm just going to keep going little by little. I'll get there. Oh, okay. Here's a bonus one. Here's a bonus one. What I found is under consistency, it might be under consistency or it might be its own point of like belief, like believing that if I keep doing the things that I'm doing, I'm going to eventually get there. But maybe it's consistency too. Anyway, one thing I didn't even think about when I embarked on this health journey was the fact that sometimes your eyes will be so deceptive. For instance, I went down in my bra size 2 bands, right? I went from a 44 to a 38. Cup size still the same, but 44 to 38. My waist went in tremendously. um, I had to get this beautiful Indian garb I had. I had to get it taken in twice at the well, I got it taken in once. I need to take it in again. I just haven't gotten it done yet. Um, what else? I went down, if you saw my video about me trying on new clothes, I went down a whole clothing size. I was usually in a 3X and everything from Shein, 3X more toward the 4X, and now I'm in a 2X. But my brain still sees my body the same. It's like I lost 60 pounds just about. I think my smallest, let me look on my phone because I was looking at it early. My largest back in June 4th, 2024, before I started this whole thing and before I came to Malaysia in September 2024. So this is June 2024, 306.8 pounds, right? So 307 pounds. And then my lowest so far, February 23rd, 2026, just less than a month ago, was 245 pounds. And so I'm down 60 pounds, but I don't see it most days. And it makes me so angry because, not angry, it's just like I'm doing all this work and I don't look different. But my clothes are telling me that things are changing. And I do feel better in my body. Outside of I talked to you yesterday about the knee stuff I'm having, knee pain I'm having. That's newer, last few weeks. But I have been feeling lighter in my body, but my eyes keep seeing me as big as I was. That at the 307, it's like, girl, 60 pounds came off. Where did it go? Because I don't see any real difference. And my friends will tell me, you look so small, your face is smaller, but I don't see it. And so I did have a time, I might have told, I think I talked to you about it before in one of our conversations where I told you I was frustrated with Armand. I'm like, I need some other goals to go after because if I'm lifting weights, Armand's my former personal trainer. If I'm lifting weights, and according to him and a lot of other people, when you lift weights, you might lose body fat, but because you're gaining muscle, your weight on the scale won't change. So he was like, don't look at the weight on the scale because you can go from 240, you could be 240 pounds, for example, and be in a size, let's say a size 20, but then you can work out, lift weights, and lose body fat and build up muscle and still be 240 pounds, but then your size would be a 14 instead of a 20, right? Because of the body changing composition, going from mostly fat to more muscle. And so, but it would upset me every time I got on the on the scale, even though I knew this logically, emotions. And so I told him, I need you to give me more things to track, like the number of push-ups, the number of squats, the amount of weights I'm lifting. I need something else to track because if I'm just tracking me getting on the scale and the scale's not moving, it would upset me. I'm like, what am I doing all this for? And it's not that I dislike what I'm doing per se. I like, but it's not my favorite. Eating like I'm eating, I'm not what's the word? I was a self-proclaimed foodie for the longest time, right? I love food. What's my love language? Food. Anybody who knows me know that's my love language is food. But I don't eat food the way I used to. I don't. I think about, okay, do I want to eat this amount of calories that's in this food, right? If we go out somewhere new, do I want to do that? Or do I want to stick with what I know? Because I'm on a journey to progress. I haven't crossed over yet, and I'm still working on it, where my identity is working out is just what I do, and eating really tasty food that helps me progress towards my 25% body fat goal is what I do. I haven't done that yet. And I think that's going to require me to up level once again. And I'm just not there yet, but I'm getting there. So I'll say overall, I don't feel like my journey's bad, or not bad is not the word. I'm not miserable. Let me say that. I know some people who eat certain things every day and they do certain workouts and they absolutely hate it. I don't feel that way. But am I enjoying it? Like, do I look forward to the food I'm going to eat today? Do I look forward to the workouts I'm going to do today? No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And I think that's okay because I rather feel neutral than hate it. If I hated it, then I'm going to stop doing it. I'm not doing it no more. And that's bad. That I can say is bad. but I don't hate it. I just haven't found the joy in it yet. And I think part of that is because I'm doing workouts that are more, which we could talk about again. We could talk about more tomorrow. Um, but I'm focused more on strength than necessarily just having fun, right? Fun for me, actually, a workout I really love. I hate it while I'm doing it, but I love it afterwards because it gives me a high. It's Pilates Reformer by far. But have you seen the prices on Reformer classes? Like that's the problem. I the thing I don't like about human beings. This is a total this is a total off topic tangent. But what I don't like about human beings is that something will become a trend or something will become popular or the demand for something will increase and then it's everywhere and it's overpriced. Like and depending on what it is, people take it and try to make it elitist. Like, oh, Pilates, you know, Raven, you don't have time to go off on this big tangent. I could do a whole video about Pilates reformer and the elitism that some people have tried to that have some people have turned it into, but that's a whole nother thing. But I'm not paying $400 a month for 12 Pilates reformer classes. I'm not doing it. That's crazy. That's more than half of my rent. That's way more than half of my monthly rent. Like, what do I look like? And I know somebody could say, "Oh, well, if you know, if you ain't got the money, you just ain't got the money." It's like, no, I don't want to pay that, and I don't think it should cost that much. But I digress. What I'm saying is, I'm working towards finding that good balance of like, okay, I enjoy this type of workout and I enjoy these foods that I'm eating, and so I might get there, I might not. I mean, I don't mind being neutral. I just don't want to hate it. I've been there before where I hated what I was eating and I hated the workouts I was doing and I completely rebelled. After a time, I rebelled. Like, you know, you're like, I'm just tired of this, and you just go eat everything and just binge. Yeah. I haven't had a binging session in a long time, which is great. And so, yeah, I don't mind being neutral. But the whole point, sorry, I'm thinking, I'm over here thinking, but the whole point was sometimes your eyes will lie to you. So if you're starting a health journey, find multiple ways to track it. Don't just let the scale be your measure because like I said, if you're building muscle, if you're lifting weights, you're building muscle. Or if you're doing anything that has resistance, body weights, those resistance bands, anything that gives resistance is you're going to build muscle. And because muscle weighs more than fat, the scale may not move much. It may, but it may not. So don't just rely on the scale. Like take measurements around your you know, around your body parts, like your waist, your hips, all that stuff. Use clothes like, okay, I have a size 10 that I used to wear, and now I'm in a size 14. Now I can fit back in the 10. Like, use that as a measurement. You can also do a DEXA scan, which will tell you more like your body fat percentage versus your muscle percentage. But use a lot of different things to help you track, because if the one you rely on most is just the scale, you will set yourself up and let the data tell you what your eyes may not show you first. I even have friends who had gastric bypass surgery and they lost a bunch of weight. Like one friend, she's half of the size she used to be. Half. Literally half. I think she's like 180 now. Or maybe she's maybe 140 actually. And I think she used to be like 300 pounds. She's half of what she used to be. And sometimes she says she still sees herself as that bigger girl. And I'm like, what? So that can be, not wishing that on you at all. Listen, not wishing that on you at all. But if it happens to you in your health journey, just know that nothing's wrong. Sometimes our minds just play with us. So use those other data points, taking your measurements, using the clothes, how you feel, how you fit into like chairs on the seats on the airplane. That's another one. I feel better, so much better when I'm on the seat in the airplane. It used to be the armrest would just come right down on my hip and I would be in pain the whole flight, right? Because somebody would slam down the armrest. But I'm smaller, so it's not as bad. And as I continue to release weight, it'll be even better. But yeah, use different things to measure. And the last thing, okay, so this went from a 5 point to a 7 point. The last thing is comparison. I Social media. Listen, social media. I do consume social media. I scroll, And I'll look at a bunch of, as soon as you look at one thing, they'll give you 50,000 more of them. I do look at a lot of posts showing before and afters, and I like them because they motivate me. But if you're in the headspace, which I was before, of comparing, then it can mess you up. Because let's say a girl, I saw a girl, she lost 40 pounds, look completely different. I'm like, I lost 60 pounds. How does she look? Like you could visibly see her changes so well. And I'm like, I'm looking at me and I lost 60 pounds and I don't look any different to myself. But she's probably shorter than me. I'm sure if I went and verified, she's probably shorter than me. I'm 5'7". A lot of ladies are more petite. I love my little ladies. And yes, well, depending on your height or just your makeup, period, depending on your height, your makeup, 40 pounds lost can make a huge difference in how your body looks, you know? And then also, I guess dropping 40 pounds, but also if you recomp, right? Recomposition. So move the fat percentage down and the muscle percentage up. That'll change the way your body looks too. So comparison, don't do it. It it will rock you at first, you know? Um, and also part of that comparison, it's not just like, oh, I lost more than this person, I don't look as small as they look, but also how fast that the internet is salacious for. I lost 90 pounds in 30 days. I lost a whole human being in 2 days, 2 weeks. I'm so glad that I've been seeing way more TikToks now of ladies showing how big they were to how small they are. So showing their before and afters and saying, this took me 3 years. This took me 5 years. It has blessed my soul so much to see TikToks and stories like that because people will have, I used to believe, and that's part of the reason why I gave up before a lot of times on this health journey was because I wasn't seeing results fast enough. It's like, oh, I didn't lose 60 pounds in 30 days. Something's wrong with me. It doesn't work. I quit. Or, oh, it's been 3 days. I'm not skinny yet. I quit. This is so unrealistic when I say it out of my mouth, but this is literally the thoughts I was having. And so if you feel like, oh, I'm on my health journey and I'm trying to get is it A1C or whatever number for diabetes? Oh, I'm trying to get it down. I saw something online. This girl, she got hers down in 5 days, and mine didn't go down far enough in a week. So, I quit whatever I'm trying to do, or anything like that. When you're comparing the way you look to other people who've lost as much weight or as you or more, or when you're comparing how fast your health turned around and got better, or how fast your results came compared to someone else, you're setting yourself up for failure. I did it over and over and over again in my life. And now I'm not comparing. I'm like, look, if it takes a year, if it takes 2 years, if it takes 3 years, I've been fat my whole life. Since I was 13 years old, I went through puberty and I got butts and thighs and breasts out of nowhere. I was skinny mini when I was a kid. I got pictures to prove it. Skinny mini, front to back, flat. And then out of the blue, my mom and grandma's genetics took over and I had butt thighs and boobs out of nowhere. And I was the biggest kid all of a sudden in high school and just been big my whole life. And finally I'm like, okay, I'm 45. If it takes me 5 years to get to the optimal health for myself, and I don't mean skinny mini. I'm not trying to be skinny mini. I'm not a kid anymore. But I want to be 25% body fat. I want to be strong, and I want to look good in my clothes, feel good in my body, not have aches and pains, not have, those things you wake up with, all them aches and pains you wake up after 40. Just like I just breathed and something hurts. I want to get rid of that, And so if it takes me 5 years, so be it. I've spent what, 13 to 45 is how much? No, I started at 44. Anyways, that 21 years? You do the math. Don't have me doing the math. Don't have me out here lying on the math in my head. No, is that 31? Let me do the math so I can chill out. Okay, 44 to 13. 44 to 13. Yeah, 31. So was no longer skinny at 13. And then I didn't get really serious about this health thing for real consistently until I was 44. So 31 years I spent and a bigger body. So if it takes me up to 5 years of consistently doing this to get to my ideal composition, so be it. The biggest thing is to keep going and not be, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to stay on track more times than I'm not. And that's my goal. So anyway, I know I rambled a lot, but I hope you found at least one thing that was helpful in here. If you found one thing that was helpful, please tell me in the comments. I'd love to talk back to you. Also, also, if you have some things that have helped you on your health journey, no matter if it's just weight loss or if it's something more mental health, some other physical health, let me know what thing that you didn't expect or you didn't even think about before you started your journey and that you've learned on your journey. I would love to learn from you too. All right, talk to you later. Ciao.